sustain such pretensions. It seems to me that the purposes of philosophy and psychology are to guide me in the moderation of my conduct. They teach me to be strong in the works of good, because they have brought me an understanding of the good. Philosophy is not merely a branch of learning, it is a way of life. Unless I practice that way, I have no part in philosophy, or in true science, or in pure religion, for they all teach the same. I therefore shall judge that man to be good, to be wise, and to be devout, who according to his own abilities and limitations is striving to live well, and to bring his own thoughts and emotions under the control of enlightened understanding. Words without works are dead, and a beautiful belief that does not lead to gentleness of spirit is fruitless. It may well be that we shall all fall short, but we shall count that man a hero who does his best, for we know that his sincere effort will be rewarded with greater insight. I believe it to be right and proper to venerate the good, as it is revealed through those who have served it lovingly and well. Therefore I respect and admire the great philosophers, spiritual leaders, sages and saints who have gone before. I do not worship them, nor do I desire to copy any one of them, for I believe that each has his own destiny, which must be unfolded and perfected. If we should respect our parents, who are the sources of our being, should we not also respect the wise, who are the sources of our well-being? I am therefore grateful that good men and women have lived, and I gladly bestow upon them the recognition and appreciation which were denied to most of them while they lived. I believe that we may outgrow our teacher, but never our duty to remember him with gratitude. I find a great consolation in the realization that these good and great leaders were mortals like ourselves, with shortcomings like our own. For by these facts and signs, I realize that it is possible for an imperfect man to be so dedicated to truth that he may serve others and contribute to the dissemination of eternal realities. I believe that it is just and proper that we should take full advantage of all new discoveries in every branch of learning. I cannot condemn science or education or modern philosophy because of their shortcomings. I know that they must be served by imperfect mortals who, like myself, are seeking to grow and to explore the mysteries of life, time, and space. I feel it to be unwise to criticize or condemn, lest I cause others to copy my attitudes or to feel that they are justified in agreeing with me. I have learned from experience that constructive words, kindly appreciation, and a full recognition of good intentions contribute more to the growth of others than fault-finding and disparagement. I am inclined, therefore, to be silent if I cannot commend. A good life must have communion with the inner parts of itself. It is right and proper that we should cultivate quietude and set aside some part of our time to gentle reflection. I believe that the eternal being within us makes known its purposes most immediately and fully through the peaceful heart and the quiet mind. It is therefore of the greatest utility to experience the presence of the eternal good as a benediction upon the spirit, inclining us naturally to peace of soul. There can be no peace without faith, for through faith alone do we discover the truth and reality of peace. I believe that the philosopher should be a law-abiding citizen, should keep the statutes of the nation and community in which he lives, and if he be unable to so accept and acknowledge, he should depart to some other region, more suitable to his inclinations. Advancement in learning causes us to wonder about the goodness of things and to appreciate growth and progress. This does not mean, however, that we are unmindful of faults and failings. It is better to be inspired to correct a condition than to allow ourselves to become mere critics. As we cultivate integrity in ourselves, we strengthen and enrich society, thus gradually making possible all reasonable reforms. I have observed that those of cheerful disposition, well disposed toward others, naturally slow to anger and quick to forgive, tolerant and inclined to cultivate peace and concord, are most likely to enjoy good health. Happiness and security must be earned by conduct, and are reserved for those who merit such rewards. Thus it seems that the laws of the universe assert themselves and make known the divine plan for man. Moderation is a virtue, for both abstinence and indulgence are extremes, and nature requires a middle course. I believe that possession is a conceit of the human mind. We are not here to exercise ownership, but to accept a certain stewardship. We cannot possess other persons without injuring them, and even more afflicting ourselves. To have more than we need is a burden to the soul, and a constant temptation to excess and extravagance. Those with many worldly goods have slight time or incentive for the cultivation of character. They become the servants of their own belongings and are deluded with a false sense of security. It is good for every person to work. Love of religion or philosophy, or the effort to acquire spiritual graces, should never prevent an individual from being a self-sustaining member of society. To be skilled in a craft or a trade is to participate in the experience of creativeness, and to retain honor, and to preserve dignity of person. Nor can I conceive one useful labor to be more excellent than another, or that humble endeavor should be looked down upon or despised. Honest toil is as much a part of religion as the most elaborate ritual in the church or the cathedral. I believe that love is an eternal power and a natural part of the sovereign good. If all things be created by wisdom and supported by strength, they shall be perfected by love. Wherever the redeeming power is present in the world, working the mysteries of regeneration and redemption, there we shall find love. It is a medicine for the sickness of the mind, the debility of the soul, or the exhaustion of the body. By love all things are tempered and subdued, and their perfect works are revealed. For man there can be no proof of love, except that he shall love. By the power of love he is induced to sacrifice himself, and to place the happiness of others above his own. If he loves truly, he will act nobly. He will find no excuse for unkindness or discord, but will forgive his enemy and sustain his friend. There can be no peace in this world, no tranquility within man, no sharing in the grace of the eternal, without love. By it, wisdom shall be made alive. Knowledge shall be used for the common good. Science will become the servant of progress, and religion will end its doctrine of fear. Love is not to be declared or uttered or spoken, but shall be revealed by deeds. By it we are moved to do those things which bring joy to those we care for. True love can never be selfish or self-seeking, but gives of itself utterly and completely. I have further observed that it is most difficult to apply wisdom to simple things. It is easier to explain the universe than to understand the conduct of a friend. It is easier to plan a reformation of society than to build a good home